I want to welcome you to the February 23rd, 2022 regular meeting of the Governing Board. Mrs. Nye, could you start with our roll call, please?
Mark Marston,
Here.
Jason Olive,
Here.
Laura Bruner,
Here.
Lindsay Love,
Here.
Here.
Thank you, Mrs. Nye. Could you all please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, and please remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. We first need to approve the minutes of the February 9th, 2022 regular board meeting. Could I please get a motion to approve the minutes?
Madam President, I would like to make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of the February 9th, 2022 regular board meeting.
Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you. All those in favor of approving the minutes of the February 9th, 2022 regular board meeting, please say aye.
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 The motion carries. Next, we need to approve and ratify payroll and accounts payable vouchers. Could I please get a motion?
Madam President, I would like to make a motion to approve and ratify payroll and accounts payable vouchers.
I'll second.
All those in favor of approving and ratifying our payroll and accounts payable vouchers, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Worth?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. Mr. Narducci, is there any correspondence?
Madam President, there is no correspondence at this time.
Thank you. Tonight we have a national recognition, and Mr. Locke, would you tell us about it?
Would you join me on the floor for tonight's special recognition? We have 3 items for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Come on down. Well, we have 3 special recognition items tonight. I'd like to begin by inviting Scott Reed of Hamilton High School to join us first. Scott, come on up. Scott earned national recognition by earning the Mary Margaret Moffett Memorial Teaching Award, which recognizes one person annually for scientific psychological instruction for teachers at the high school level. The Mary Moffett criteria is based on 4 criteria: effective innovative teaching, stimulation of student interest in psychology, 3, evidence showing use of American Psychological Association's national standards for high school psychology curricula, and 4, professional development. Each criterion is accompanied below with suggestions for supporting evidence, and Scott represents the country in winning this award. In a national publication, Scott's own words summed up why he loves teaching psychology, psychological literacy, as he calls it. He says, "I hope students will see the world differently and understand themselves and others with a broader understanding that psychology can bring. For many of our students, this might be their only exposure to psychology in a classroom, and I hope they leave wanting to know more about the science of psychology." Congratulations, Scott.
Can I just add one thing?
Yes.
I just want to mention that Scott and I, for the last 15 years, have worked together to build a community in Arizona of psychology teachers. He has been the core of that. He runs the communication for all of the teachers. He's been serving on national committees, and he has students who have come and become psychology teachers, both in Arizona and other places, because of the passion he has brought to their lives. So,
Next, you see some hardware up there. It's going to be the We the People team from Hamilton High School. Please come forward. Now, the We the People team from Hamilton High School in January won its fourth We the People State Championship. The Citizens and the Constitutional program promotes civic competence and responsibility among the nation's upper elementary and secondary students. The We the People curriculum is an innovative course of instruction on the history and principles of the U.S. Constitutional Democratic Republic. The program enjoys active support from the Arizona State Bar Association. I want to congratulate the winners on the team. They include Jaden Bhakta, Danielle Choi, Hannah Claro, Ryan Gann, Soham Gawali, Sasha Gunta, Dia Murthy, Benjamin Tung, Daniel Wong, Andrew Shi, and Charles Zhang, and of course, Coach Brianna Willis. Congratulations on a great state championship. We want to get you on TV and showcase that nice trophy y'all earned. Congratulations again. You can be seated. Okay, next is Jaden Ocampo from Basha High School. Now, this Basha High student made national news earlier this month. Jaden was featured in a segment on NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt for her senior project to raise money and pay down student debt for 7 USD teachers. It was such an inspirational story. She made the rounds to CTA Independence, Santan Junior High, Navarrete Elementary, San Marcos Elementary, and Hamilton High School with $1,000 scholarships as a student. We'd like to show you the clip to the board this time. This will tell you more than I can talk about it. Story tells the picture.
Prize for you.
6th grade teacher Yolanda Jones never imagined this. A $1,000 scholarship from a high school senior helping to pay down her student loans.
It just felt like an honor. I was just so ecstatic.
Phys ed teacher Hunter Wilkes
Thank you so much.
also got $1,000. What was going through your mind as you were handed the check?
This is going to relieve so much stress for me.
Stress trying to pay off $65,000 in student loans. It's an all too familiar struggle. A recent study shows nearly half of all educators owe an average $58,000 in college debt.
So excited.
That's why Jaden Ocampo, who comes from a family of educators, knew she was on the right track with her senior high school service project. Starting a GoFundMe scholarship for teachers near Phoenix with staggering student loans.
These teachers have been teaching for decades and they're still paying off debt.
Nationwide, for many public school teachers who earn about 20% less than other college-educated workers, it's hard to make ends meet. One-time Olympic hopeful, Hunter's now coaching after school to earn extra money. Since graduating, Yolanda's also working at a fast food restaurant, getting a master's degree, piling on debt, but dreaming of becoming a principal one day at a Navajo school.
It's going to be a financial burden to me, but I feel in my heart that this is what I was meant to do.
Now, one student meeting an urgent need to help keep teachers in school. Rahima Ellis, NBC News.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.
Wasn't that fabulous? Jaden was also featured in other media, including another local affiliate. And Jaden, do you want to say anything to us, to the group? Come on over.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Just kind of like the clip said, I do come from a family of educators. Both my parents work in the Chandler Unified School District, and so I saw firsthand what paying for student debt looks like, and I knew with my Basha Gives Back project, the service project we have to do to graduate at Basha, I wanted to help those people, so it was just really cool to see the overwhelming generosity from my community in raising, well, the GoFundMe went up again, so I'm at $6,000 in raising money for this scholarship, and it's just been incredible being able to help the people that mean the most to me, which are teachers.
Jaden, thank you for representing Basha High School, Chandler Unified, and the entire community so well. That'll conclude tonight's special recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Locke, and thank you to all the students and teachers who make this district really, really special. So we're very proud of all the awards that you've received, and keep going. Next, we have our student body president's reports. Our first student tonight is from ACP, and this is Hunter Bickus.
Good evening, Madam President, board members, and Mr. Narducci, and all of CUSD administration. I'm Hunter Bickus, the student body president at Arizona College Prep High School, and since I last visited in January, ACP has had a great start to 2022. I'd like to begin with an athletic update. Our wrestling program had a great finish to their season and made a great run at the state tournament as well. Senior Nate Huffman, junior Christina Chavez, and sophomore Kaden Gibson all wrestled their way to the podium, earning medals in last weekend's state tournament. Both the boys and the girls teams made us proud, and it was fun to watch them at state. Our spring sports begin their seasons with all athletes working hard to be the best in the state. We are extremely excited to begin the inaugural season of our baseball team. The members of the team are ready to represent our school, and we hope you all find the time to attend one of our baseball team's games this inaugural season. We also have our co-ed golf team teeing up their season as defending state runners-up, coming off their undefeated season from a year ago, so we're looking forward to seeing if they can win it all this year. Our track team is ready for their season, and I must say they're all looking a lot more well-rested this year walking through the halls as they're finally avoiding their 4 a.m. practices since we now have our own track facilities. So thank you for letting them all be well-rested. I think they greatly appreciate it. Finally, our softball, tennis, beach volleyball, and boys volleyball teams are stoked to begin their season competing in our new home and representing ACP to the best of their abilities. It continues to be a year of firsts for our athletic teams, and we are all excited to see how they do this season. Our two-time state champion speech and debate team is looking impressive as they head to state tournament and go for that three-peat this year. Earlier this month, they competed at the Jackrabbit Jamboree at Mesa High School, which is the largest and most challenging tournament of the year, with 45 schools from Division I and II from Arizona, California, New Mexico, Colorado, and Texas competing. Our Knights brought home the championship trophy from the tournament, proving to be the best speech and debate program in the Southwest. I am beyond impressed with our speech and debate program and the 17 individuals that finished in the top 3 for their individual event at the Jamboree. During the month of February, our Black Student Union has taken various opportunities to recognize the importance of Black history and culture through many in-class and lunchtime activities. Our Black Student Union has shared the foundation and history of Black History Month and why it is so critical that all Americans celebrate and appreciate Black excellence. BSU has been playing music at lunches that highlight African American musicians throughout the decades, playing videos that educate us on the importance of February and Black culture in America, and much more to spread awareness about and for Black History Month. Our Best Buddies Club has been sticking to their mission of inclusion as they put on an inclusion carnival for kids with intellectual or developmental disabilities across the state. The club hosted many fundraisers to garner money for the carnival and even got many local businesses to donate to the carnival. On the day of the event, over 80 Knights helped put on the carnival. It was a day full of games, food, music, dancing, and of course, cotton candy. It was an amazing day to watch the faces of everyone in attendance as they came together to have a great time. Our Best Buddies program has also been actively involved in the Special Olympics Arizona program to help volunteer and make Special Olympics Arizona a possibility by hosting team practices at our school over the past several weeks. At the Barrett-Jackson Auto Show, the AZ SciTech Festival celebrated STEM during their inaugural ceremony of the auto show. At this ceremony, 2 of our students, Sohani Sandhu and Nevin Hamford, hosted a panel discussion discussing innovation and entrepreneurship in high schools. Nevin and Sohani sat on a panel with ASU professors, members of the Office of the Maricopa County School Superintendent, and with the president of Connect.io. This was a huge honor as SciTech is a national-level STEM event and was just the second time in event history that high school students have hosted panel discussions. We are very proud of Nevin and Sohani's accomplishment. In this year's district science fair, ACP was well represented with 27 projects out of the 34 submitted winning awards. Our school had a total of 9 first-place finishes, 8 second-place finishes, 7 third-place winners, and 3 honorable mentions within the 19 project categories. My congratulations to all the Knights that competed in the fair and to my fellow students that will be moving on to the Arizona Science and Engineering Fair this semester. Speaking of STEM, we had our first ever STEAM Festival this month as well. The festival was put on through the hard work of many students that are involved in STEM, art, or science-related clubs on campus. The festival was a blast and had some interactive educational exhibits for students to learn from while also having some fun. The festival even contained a petting zoo, a rocket, and a guest appearance from Arizona Science Center and the SciTech Institute. The festival was a huge success with an amazing turnout of current and future ACP families. The hard work that our chief science officers put into it, along with the help of their teachers, led to a great evening. Also from our STEAM program, ACP was selected as one of the 20 awardees of a $2,500 award for equity in STEAM initiative for 2022 by YWCA and Intel. The school was recognized as an award recipient at the Multicultural Festival in downtown Chandler based on the hard work staff members Ms. Lynn Huang and Ms. Rachna Nath put into the application. We always love to acknowledge the academic success of students and clubs on campus. We just learned that in my senior class we have 9 national merit finalists out of only 214 seniors. I'm so impressed with these 9 individuals and know that they will be beyond successful after graduating from ACP. Last month, we had 15 students attend the Scottsdale Community College Science and Math Field Day, where they walked away as an overall champions, with 8 individuals from all grade levels finishing on the podium in their respective math levels. We have a freshman on campus, Ziyi Wang, who was named a semifinalist in the annual Wharton Global High School Investment Competition. He and his team members on Team Sailing to Success were named one of the top 50 teams in this year's competition, in which over 1,300 teams from 64 countries competed in. He and his team, Sailing to Success, will complete in the virtual semifinals next month to determine which 10 teams will move on to the global finals. I wish him the best of the luck in the semifinal competition, but know that if any of you guys ever need financial advice, ACP's got your guy. We also had some honors from our fine arts program, as we had 5 members of our band program audition and make the regional honor band. We also had 2 other students be selected as alternates. These musicians performed last weekend and did a phenomenal job. We continue to focus on one of our core values of philanthropy at ACP and recognize individuals who had made a difference in our community. Last quarter, we had 29 Knights complete at least 20 hours of community service, 9 completed at least 40, and we had 3 individuals complete over 100 hours of community service. This is an individual service not associated with a club or other school or organization, so we encourage all Knights to get involved in our new neighborhood and give back to the community around us. I'm impressed with the hard work and selflessness of all those around me and how they are sticking to the true spirit of being a Knight and serving others. We also have a very exciting fundraiser being sponsored by our Key Club. This involves selling t-shirts and accepting donations and giving all proceeds to help provide clean water for people in need in Africa. So far, this fundraiser has been a great success, and I'm proud to see Key Club raise money to those in need around the globe. As we wrap up the quarter, our student government has been busy and get ready to put on our Sadie Hawkins-style dance next week, Merry Go Morp. This will be a carnival-themed dance that all students will enjoy and have a blast dancing at, playing carnival games, and even getting some of those classic carnival treats. Following our Morp week, Stugo will end the quarter with our annual Random Acts of Kindness Week, in which we will have activities all throughout the week to promote kindness, share some special treats with our student body, and end the week with an assembly with a guest speaker to spread the importance of kindness. This past weekend, 12 student government representatives attended the Arizona Association of Student Councils State Convention at North High School, where we heard from many speakers about the importance of leadership and strategies to lead those around us. It was a great weekend, and we had a lot of fun showing our spirit and representing ACP. We walked away with some hardware as we received charitable contribution and community service award recognitions, and we did get the highest honor for Stugo in the state, Outstanding Council of Distinction. This award would not have been possible without the hard work of all members of Stugo and our historians Jennifer Park and Kate White, who put together the application. We also received another great honor at the convention for ACP last weekend, as our principal, Mr. Rob Bickus, was recognized as 2021-2022 AASC Administrator of the Year. This is an extremely honorable award in which Mr. Bickus was recognized for his hard work in opening the new campus and making an ACP a place where all are welcome and each and every night can thrive. Mr. Bickus was recognized at the convention and was nominated for the award by many members of student government, our advisor, and our dean of students. All in all, ACP has been up to some incredible things this quarter, receiving various recognitions for all types of programs on our campus. We are looking forward to finishing the year strong while continuing to strive for the impossible and be extraordinary. Thank you.
Thank you, Hunter. We appreciate you telling us all the things that are going on, great things that are going on at ACP High School. So thank you so much for being here, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
We also have from Basha High School, Cole Del Monte, who's going to tell us what's going on at Basha High School tonight.
Bang. No messes up. It's right here. All right, thank you guys for having me. Good evening. All right, I'm excited to tell you guys what's been going on at Basha since the last time I spoke here. First up, I know there was a slide on this last time, but I had to put it up here because now I have pictures. This was going down the day of the last time I spoke here. We hosted the CUSD Special Education Winter Party, and you can see here we had pictures with different winter holiday characters, and we had dancing, we had food, we had Switch Adapted toys provided by a local nonprofit, Believe Beyond Ability, and it was a lot of fun. We had the cookie decorating there, super fun. It was great for everyone, and it was also a good opportunity for students of student government to learn how to honor everybody regardless of their ability. So it was just very good for everyone. Our Valentine's Day Grams, which is a favorite at Basha for sure. We run this the full week before Valentine's Day, and then on Valentine's Day we go to everyone's 4th hour and we hand out these Grams. It's definitely fun for me because I get to go in and be like, oh, who got the Grams? You know, it's fun. It's not. You get a Kit Kat and a note, and if you pay $5, you also get a rose. So it's just a great way to celebrate the people that mean the most to you, and it doesn't have to be that romantic kind of love. There's all these different friend ones too, so it's just a great way that we can celebrate Valentine's Day without putting pressure on students and just keeping it light and fun. We have been celebrating Black History Month. At Basha, our Black Student Union has been selling bracelets, buttons, and stickers at lunches, and we have had Black-owned food trucks all February. And I would like to take a moment to highlight a certain staff member of Basha who we feel just is the definition of Black excellence. So Rashard Noah, who is a support staff member at Basha High School, he moved to play football in 1996. He attended Ranger College in Texas and then Mesa Community College. Anyone at Basha will know that he is the definition of a positive influencer. He makes a difference every day. He gives everything he does his all with a smile on his face. He does the right thing daily, and you just see it in his work ethic. He just makes kids better. He makes the school better, and we would not be the same without him. One of the things that I feel is the most special about him is that he views the students at Basha as his kids and as people and not just a number and a student that he sees at work. So I just want to highlight that, and we've been doing, and also President Aaliyah Brown delivered a speech here about Black excellence at CUSD. That's what we've been doing for Black History Month. Campus flexes. So our varsity competition pom placed 3rd at Pink State. Our Kismet Dance Company, our highest dance company at Basha, placed 3rd at Pink State in large and small group jazz. Our student government also won Outstanding Council of Distinction, the highest honor in AASC. A Basha softball alumni, Sierra Rodriguez, was induced into the Chandler Sports Hall of Fame on Saturday, so that was awesome. Science is Fun was at the Chandler Innovation Fair recently. And one of our students, Anderson Mendez, took 1st place in regionals for HOSA Biotech and is now onto the state competition for medical photography. That sounds hard. Don't worry, there's 2 pages, Basha. Boys basketball is still in the playoffs, and I think right now they are playing Perry at Perry, so hopefully I get good news after I'm done with this presentation. 2 of our band members, Kenzie Yamada and Jake Starkey, made the 2022 All-State Jazz Band team And if you're a Basha late at night or early in the morning, you will see band out there working hard, so they definitely deserve that. Our academic decathlon team qualified for the upcoming state competition as well, so you're just going to see Basha all over, wherever state you're at, they're there. Our color guard took second and our drumline took first in their recent season openers. And Ms. Tamboli was awarded the Equity and STEAM grant by the YMCA Metro Phoenix and Intel for her project proposal to empower young girls in coding. We have some upcoming events. Our Sadie Hawkins dance is this Saturday, and that's part of one of our upcoming goals, and I'll talk about that in a second. So that's Saturday the 26th. Our Mr. BHS pageant, I know, it's gonna be fun. You can come watch me compete. It's gonna be on March 4th, so the next week, and then Spring Sports Assembly to celebrate our spring sports. You guys know I love those assemblies. Is gonna be the week after that, and then MORP is on April 1st. Hopefully, no pranks there, and then our prom is on May 14th. Sorry, went too far. Just to go back to these two that I've talked about are inclusivity and community involvement and appreciation at Basha. So one thing that we're really big on as a part of inclusivity is our adapted opportunities for our special needs community, which we saw in the special education winter party, and it was just an awesome way, like I said, to get everyone involved and to see, just creating those connections and creating community with those students on campus. So opportunities for everyone on campus. Valentine's Day grams, I talked about this a little bit before, but it's a way that we can celebrate each other without kind of taking the drama out of Valentine's Day in a way that we can just that's awesome, you got a little Kit Kat in your 4th hour, and I delivered to this one room, and this one kid in his class bought 15 of them for all the different kids in his class, and it was a super cool moment, and kids buy them for their teachers and all that, and so it's a really fun way to bring people together. Our Sadie Hawkins dance is just a little way that we're changing the dance culture. I mean, it's a girl-ass boy dance. I mean, it's been around for a while, but it's just it's a good way to let girls have a chance at asking. Obviously, it doesn't have to be that way, but I got asked today, so a little flex. Our Mr. BHS pageant is called Mr. BHS, but students, regardless of identity, are allowed to participate in that, and I just think it's a great way that we're taking these classic high school things and we're making them inclusive, and we're focusing them on community and just involving everyone that we can. So yeah, students are going to get their own sash, and they're going to decorate it. They're going to put their pronouns. They're going to put their I'm Mr. Yearbook, so I'm going to write Mr. Yearbook on it. I know, outside of Stugo. But it's just going to be a great way that we can continue to make sure that we're taking every measure to include all people. Part of our community involvement and appreciation, Believe Beyond Ability was the nonprofit that helped us out and gave us those adapted Switch toys for the winter party. And our Sadie Hawkins dance, we are partnering with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. We have a student in our student government, Alexis Liu, who is is campaigning for Student of the Year. So we're working with her, and a part of that Sadie Hawkins dance, a part of that profits is going to go to that society. So thank you guys so much. Hope you enjoyed hearing what's been going on in Basha.
Cole, we appreciate you coming out this evening and letting us know what was going on at Basha. So lots of great things are happening in our schools, and it's amazing the types of things that our students are doing and that are being led by the students in the schools so that everyone can enjoy their high school years. So thank you so much. Mr. Locke, it is now time for our citizens' comments, and you're up.
Well, thank you, Madam President, members of the board, Superintendent Narducci. As a courtesy, we provide the opportunity for the public to submit comments electronically on any topic. This cycle, we heard from 5 people, though most of those came in just prior to the February 9th board meeting after the cutoff time the day before. Our feedback this week centered on curriculum and instruction and student safety. Submitting comments electronically provides our governing board members time to read and prepare prior to the meeting. This format also provides the board an opportunity to ask clarifying questions to the administration. You have the submissions verbatim for your consideration. They're also available on our website for public review.
Thank you, Mr. Locke. And this evening, we do have 3 in-person citizen comments, so each speaker will be allowed 3 minutes.
Thank you, Madam President. During public comments, members of the governing board may not discuss items that are not specifically identified on the agenda. Therefore, pursuant to state statute, action taken as a result of public comments is limited to directing staff to review the matter, responding to criticism, or scheduling the matter for further consideration and decision at a later date. The board president reserves the right to ensure that speakers present on topics that are within the board's jurisdiction, and everyone is asked to present their comments in a respectful and courteous manner. Profanity or threats of harm will never be tolerated. Our first speaker is Kurt Rohrs of Chandler. We'd like to talk about discipline.
Good evening. My name is Kurt Rohrs. I'm a parent in this district. One of the luxuries of being a private citizen is that you could say things that the district administration, the board may not feel comfortable in talking about. So let's talk about chicken thighs. This subject came out last meeting regarding protest against district policy KB, the parent opt-in requirement for teaching child sexualization at school as derived from Arizona state statute. First, it was represented that the district required parent opt-in approval for teaching how to cook chicken thighs in a culinary class, since the sexually suggested word thighs was mentioned. This was a fabrication. The district never gave such direction. Then it was suggested that this was an honest misunderstanding by the teacher in question. This is absurd. Nobody could be that stupid. What is apparent that this teacher chose to make a public mockery of district policy, Arizona state law, and the concerns of parents on this matter. This disrespects the district, the state of Arizona, the dignity of the teaching profession, and most importantly, the legal rights of parents to direct the education of their minor children. Contrary to some opinions, teachers are restricted in their speech in the classroom or outside the classroom if they hold themselves out to be as teachers employed by the district, which is a state-mandated entity. This was decided in Supreme Court decision Garcetti versus Apolos in 2006. There is no unrestricted right to free speech for teachers in their official duties. They certainly can be disciplined for their transgressions. I understand from media reports that some conversations did occur with the offending parties. Fortunately, most of our teachers are reasonable, professional enough not to behave in this manner. What these defiant and disruptive teachers are free to do is to find employment elsewhere if they feel they cannot work under the constraints placed upon them. Insubordination in the teaching ranks cannot be tolerated. Political and social militancy cannot be allowed to be foisted on our school children. Some of these teachers have gone too far. In the words expressed recently by one of your colleagues, move it on down the road. Thank you.
Next is Ann Sweeney of Chandler to talk about policy KB.
Hi, thank you for letting me speak. It's been a long time since I've been here. I just wanted to let you just give an update on my medical. I'm actually healed, and I look forward to getting back to work. I've been out on a medical leave for 2 years with the district. I'm actually a substitute teacher in the district. One of the things that I did see online, there was I saw some of the comments that people were making from last meeting, and there was a thing online that happened yesterday from a 6th grade teacher, which I believe is in the Kyrene School District. And I actually recorded it. And basically what she said in her classroom is she said, "We, the society, want to blur the lines between gender." And it went on to say that they're waiting for the older generation to die off. 6th grade. I'm part of the society. That is not what I teach my kids. That is not what I teach my kids at all. So how did I get left out of that society when this teacher is including it in her teaching in the classroom? How did I get left out? I agree with the KB. I didn't read through the whole thing. I will go back and read it. I skimmed it, though. And there's a lot of stuff that I do agree with that teachers need to be monitored. Because I heard a lot of your teachers saying that they couldn't have specific books in the classroom. Well, here's a book. This is a collection of 66 books written by 40 different authors, written on 3 different continents over the period of 1,500 years. And there's barely a contradiction in it. My degree is in this study. And I would bet my life on this. And I have researched. This is a book that has been contested for thousands of years. But you'll be very hard-pressed to find this on any shelf in your libraries. You can't find it in your teacher's libraries, so why is this book gone? This right here, I talked 2 years ago about the statue of the Founding Fathers. This is the statue of the Founding Fathers. This statue sits in Plymouth, Massachusetts. It's 81 feet high. If I were standing there, I'd probably be this high to this statue. What they did is they put the foundation principles of freedom in this statue in case America lost her way. And if you look in this statue, the Bible and faith is all over this statue.
30 seconds.
You can't, and I thank the Deep Equity Program because I went back to the original founding fathers of this country, particularly Dr. Rush, and a lot of the founding fathers found it imperative to have a full knowledge of the Bible as imperative to a quality education. And I would ask that the teachers that were here last week have a copy of this in their libraries. Thank you.
Next is Marissa Heinrich from Chandler to speak about COVID mitigation.
Good evening. My name is Marissa Heinrich. I'm a mother, concerned citizen, an esthetician, makeup artist who has turned into an independent journalist and an activist. I'm here on behalf of parents and their children who attend the Chandler Unified Public Schools. I have documentation regarding 3 allocations of ESSER funds from the federal government to the Chandler Unified Public Schools over the last 2 years. I have the total of the funds. It's over $47 million. To obtain over $47 million in government funds, you've signed contracts to implement and recommend mask policies, contact tracing, social distancing protocol, quarantine and isolation practices, free COVID-19 testing on-site, and vaccination clinics to students, teachers, and their families. For months now, parents such as myself have been pleading, demanding, serving cease and desist letters, notices of liabilities, affidavits, and you've been completely unresponsive or responded with a mocking laugh or straight up, no, you're not doing anything wrong. Now we all know why. You've signed contracts and agreed to strict COVID mitigation measures in order to qualify for vast amounts of money from the federal government. You chose this money over physical, cognitive, and emotional health of children and trusted you for education. Since receiving these funds, teachers and administrators have encouraged students to take an emergency use inoculation, which does not give immunity or stop transmission, which has many documented serious adverse effects. Teachers of the school district are not qualified to give medical advice to children. By promoting these injections without informed consent of the parent and using coercion and fear tactics, they are practicing medicine without a license. This decision is solely the responsibility of the parent and their doctor. Why does the school board wish to take on this liability? Who is liable in the event a child has a serious reaction or dies from these shots? Each member on this board has violated their oath to uphold the Arizona U.S. Constitution. You are in direct violation of Title 15 Arizona Parent Bill of Rights. You've broken over 27 state, federal, and international laws. I'm announcing to you that you've each been served with 2 letters of intent to file a claim against your surety bond from 2 parents and citizens of the school district. You're each personally liable for up to $100,000 per claim. If you do not resolve the following issues within the next 5 business days, remove all mask and COVID tested requirements and suggestions, close down and end on-site COVID testing and all testing
30
recommendations,
seconds.
as well as quarantine isolation practice, close down any and all vaccine clinics, stop recommending them. You must renegotiate all of the terms related to the most ESSER contract. Every item must be voted on by all the parents. We demand audit of all the school spending, which includes the spending of the ESSER funds over the last 2 years. I speak for all the innocent children in the school district that you are inducing mental illness on. It's your job to protect them. You took an oath. Do the right thing. Thank you.
We appreciate everyone coming out to speak this evening, and thank you for coming on that. We will move on to our consent agenda. Mr. Narducci.
Thank you, Mrs. Mosden, members of the board. We have a short consent agenda this evening. The first one is out-of-state student travel pre-planning. Out-of-state field trip pre-planning forms for ACP High School and Camille Castile High School are provided. Following governing board pre-approval, Dr. Gilbert will monitor the trip arrangements before providing the final approval. The governing board will receive a summary of the final travel arrangements quarterly. Field trip approval will be determined on a case-by-case basis and will be contingent upon current health guidelines in the area that our students are going to. Under monetary gifts, request approval of the monetary gift generously donated to Chandler Unified Schools totaling $72,915.58. And in donations, we request approval of the items generously donated to Chandler Schools totaling $711.29. Those are listed in your agenda. We have a contract increase for Universal Athletics. The board has approved annual contracts with estimated spending on June 9th, 2021. At that time, it was $150,000 was the estimate for Universal Athletics utilizing state contract bid ADSPO 18-208273 for athletic equipment and supplies. The district is requesting approval to increase the total amount to $225,000 for additional items needed for the remainder of the 21-22 school year. Salt River Project easement. The Salt River Project, SRP, is planning a new 69 kilovolt transmission line, which will connect the Humphrey substation to the Turpin substation. For SRP to facilitate this new transmission line, it is necessary to acquire an easement across a portion of district property at Basha High School. SRP had an appraisal done by Land Pro Valuation for 0.6570 acres at the northwest corner of Val Vista and Riggs Road. The appraised value of this 28,619 square feet easement is $189,709. We recommend approval of 28,619 square feet easement to Salt River Project for the appraised value of $189,709 to connect both substations. We had a change order for chillers at Hull Elementary School on January 12th, 2022. The governing board approved the replacement of chillers 2, 3, and 4 at Hull Elementary School. Chiller 1 is being replaced through a building renewal grant funded by School Facilities Board, or SFB. Currently, the SFB does not have sufficient funds to replace Chiller 1. The School Facility Board has informed us that if the district pays for Chiller 1, the SFB will reimburse the district retroactively when funding is available. We request a change order in the amount of $163,799.25 to Unitech, the contractor of record on the project. We're recommending governing board approval. And then the last one is human resources, employment, separation, compensation, and job descriptions that are herein.
Thank you, Mr. Narducci. Could I please get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Madam President, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Narducci. We will now move on to our action items. Our first is revision number 4 of the 2021 budget. Mrs. Berry.
Madam President, members of the board, the district is requesting to make an expenditure budget correction pursuant to ARS 15-915 related to the annual expenditure budget from fiscal year 2021, revised May 12, 2021. On page 7, line 8C, the budget increase from the budget balance carry forward was reported incorrectly. The carry forward amount listed in the revised budget was $16,696,094, but the amount that should have been reported was $17,024,179, leaving a variance of a total of $328,085. The district annual budget expenditure budget revision number 4 is attached. Recommend approval of the 2020-21 district annual expenditure budget revision number 4. Now, I want to explain a little bit what happens. We get what's called a Budge 75 in, and when there's the last revisions to all of our ADM each year, there's an adjustment on that Budge 75. And typically, you just look back and right before your last revision, they've updated it for the last time, and we had updated it according to the latest revision of Budge 75. Well, when the governor gave out the summer school money from when COVID happened in 1920, there were still adjustments that were being made to that. So there was another adjustment made to that calculation by ADE after we revised the budget last year on May 12th. So now we're able to calculate and capture that $328,000. So it wasn't necessarily an error, just a correction to that carryover amount and allocation, and all related to summer school allocations that we never received before, but the final calculations on that, and then ADE's calculation on that from 2019, 2020 carried forward into 2020-21. So just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you, Mrs. Berry. Could I please get a motion?
Madam President, I make a motion to approve the 2020-2021 District Annual Expenditure Budget Revision Number 4.
Second.
Are there any questions for Mrs. Berry? No? Okay. So this is mostly ADE's issue, and it was because of summer school.
Yes, so we have an increase of ADM due to summer school, and then how they accounted for that in the past, when they finalized those numbers, they issued that correction on the Budge 75. So we had updated it in May. Then they issued another one after we did our latest revision, and so that's what the difference is.
So are a number of other school districts across the state going to have to do the same thing?
Well, and we had a lot of summer school kids that year. We collected a lot of ADM for summer school, so yes, they should have to do the same thing. Okay. Now, hopefully they know to do that. We just knew to look at Budge 75. We knew the number was off, and we looked at the prior year's Budge 75 because they updated that. And so hopefully most school districts know to do that, because if you don't do a revision, you can't capture the dollars. So that just comes from years of looking at Budge 75s and knowing that you have to do this to capture that variance. So for us, you could not do a revision and you'd lose $328,000. So we want to make sure we maximize every penny.
Great.
Lana, I guess I got dated. I didn't realize we paid for summer school, or was that a 1 or 2 year thing?
Just a one-time thing during, so the governor, when we went into COVID in March of 2019, they paid for free summer school. We collected ADM in June and July, very tricky. And so they had to calculate that. And then it was interesting because we had some ADM losses, so then they were funding the enrollment stability grant to backfill, and part of that was in July. So it was kind of very messy last year, and it was a calculation to correct that. So once ADE updated those about a month ago, we got a new updated copy.
Okay.
That was the only time. The governor we didn't have it last summer. He did not fund it last summer. You could use your ESSER money to fund federal for summer school. This summer, the governor does have in his proposal to pay for summer school again this upcoming summer, but we haven't heard the details on it yet.
Okay. Are there any other questions? No. All those in favor of approving the 2021 Annual District Expenditure Budget Revision Number 4, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
The motion carries. Next, we have a revision to the 2021 Annual Financial Report. Mrs. Berry.
Madam President, members of the board, the district is requesting to make an annual financial report, AFR revision, that does not include changes to actual expenditures or adjustments to state aid, and are not required to follow the process defined in ARS 915-915. However, the new AFR requires board approval and signatures. The amount input for IEPs required pupil transportation costs coded within Program 400 on page 8, line B10, was input incorrectly and has now been reported correctly. So one thing, there's a manual amount that you have to put in for your special education transportation amount. We manually put that number in inaccurately. So when they did the maintenance of effort, they found that this year. So there's no adjustment, there's no additional cost. It's just a dollar allocation that need to be corrected. And the reason we found that is we were doing our maintenance of effort, which compares how much maintenance and operations dollars you spend every year. And there was an incorrect amount added to that page. And so that needed to be updated.
Thank you, Mrs. Berry. Could I please get a motion?
Madam President, I make a motion to approve the revision of the 2020, am I in the right one? Okay, yeah. The 2020-2021 annual finance report.
Second.
Are there any questions for Mrs. Berry? I do have a question. The revision that we just approved for number 4, is that going to have to carry over into the annual financial report, and will we have to revise that again?
We will not have to. We'll be able to make a budget adjustment with the budget 25, so we won't need to do that.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions? All those in favor of approving the revision to the 2020-2021 annual financial report, please say aye.
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 Aye. The motion carries. Next, we have a technology facility agenda item. Mr. Fletcher.
Madam President, members of the board, as technology continues to expand across the district, the need for a designated technology area to streamline and enhance technology support is apparent. Currently, the department is housed at several locations. This project will allow the technology department to be in one location, which is the auxiliary building at Perry High School. This move will improve communications, collaborations, and overall teamwork of the technology department. Concord General Contracting is the general contractor for this project, using a job order contract via 1 GPA, which complies with all school procurement rules. The district and Concord have negotiated a guaranteed maximum price of $475,584, which is fair and reasonable in the current market. We recommend approval of Concord General Contracting in the amount of $475,584 for the construction of the new information technology facility.
Thank you, Mr. Fletcher. Could I please get a motion?
Madam President, I make a motion to approve Concord General Contracting in the amount of $475,584 for the construction of the new information technology facility.
Second.
Are there any questions for Mr. Fletcher?
Mr. Fletcher, can you describe a little bit of what the work is that needs to be done?
I certainly can. We have demolition, we have to build some masonry walls, insulation, we have to patch the roof, we have doors, frames, hardware, access control, windows, drywall, acoustical ceiling tile, flooring, painting, sprinkler systems, HVAC, electrical, and voice data and security.
And Mr. Fletcher, this is just actually a renovation of an existing building.
It is a renovation of an existing
The building exists to make the
warehouse
office
facility
spaces
type, yes.
would be placed in. And that would bring all of our technology services to one location. Right now, they're spread out and would reduce some room space needed at the places where they'd be coming from, which we do need here at district office as well.
Okay, are there any other questions? All right, all those in favor of approving Concord General Contracting in the amount of $475,584 for the construction of the new information technology facility, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have our board agenda roadmap. And our next meeting will be on March 9th. We will be having some study sessions and an executive session. And then we will be having, of course, we have our spring break, and we will return for a meeting on March 30th. So, Mr. Narducci, do you have any comments for this evening?
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, lots has happened since our last meeting. First, I'd like to start with today, Mr. Sleater and I had the opportunity to go to the Elementary Honors Choir that was being held over at the Chandler Center of the Arts. It's held today and tomorrow, where our elementary groups meet and they actually perform there. They get to critique each other and get to meet with other groups at the center. I'd like to thank Angela Story from the district and Megan Vogas and Katie Landon, as well as Melissa Traficante, for helping coordinate those efforts. And It's really good. If you get a chance tomorrow to head over there, it's between, they go between 9 o'clock and they were done by 12:30. They're finished. We have several other items. The high school winter sports season is ending, and CUSD schools have performed exceptionally. Castile High School won 3 team state championships in the span of just four days. First, on Saturday night, the Colts repeated as Division II boys state wrestling championship, as 5 athletes won their weight divisions. Then last night, Castile made it a 2 for Tuesday event by winning the girls and boys 5A title in soccer. The girls won their 3rd title in 5 years in the opener, beating Sunrise Mountain of Peoria 2-0, and the boys concluded an undefeated season with an exciting 2-1 overtime win over Sunrise Mountain as well. I think you heard earlier from our president at ACP that Mr. Rob Bickus was recognized at the State Stugo Award with the Administrator of the Year Award for all his support of getting Stugo up and working on that as well. And then we also held our Holocaust education Auschwitz virtual tours this week in world history classes. Those world history classes are taught across all 9th grade, and that was an addition that our curriculum department, Dr. Edgar, reviewed and sampled and was recommended to us, and so they're enjoying that those units of study in world history. We have 2 6A state championship contests on Thursday night. They were changed from tonight. So Perry High School girls soccer team faces Xavier Prep, and Chandler High's boys soccer has been kind of a Cinderella story. They were seeded at number 13 and are advancing to Thursday's title game versus Desert Vista. So from seeding 13th all the way to playing Desert Vista, which will be great. So it should be a great game. In addition, Perry High girls basketball team will be playing in semifinal action on Thursday night as well. And we will all invite all of the athletic team champions, including the wrestlers who won their individual medals this past Saturday, to a future board meeting in March. The Chandler Innovation Fair, as you heard some of the kids talk about today, was an incredible success. SIF featured students' innovation as the cornerstone of the event, including the Hamilton Invitational Science and Engineering Fair, research and projects that students inventions. We talked about that last meeting. The turnout was incredible, and I'd like to also thank our curriculum instruction team, also Renee Sweden, who works with our teacher specialists that were involved, as well as all of our teachers, administrators, and students who made this a success. I think if you were just walking around the events, you would find our administrators, teachers, and students in booths talking about their special projects. Our friends at Sun Lakes Rotary Club continue to recognize a Teacher of the Month. It's a very nice honor. They recognize them at a club breakfast with a cash award. Tracy Phillips, science teacher from Santan Junior High, was honored in February. Tax season is upon us, and we're pleased to announce that the Chandler Care Center, in collaboration with the City of Chandler and Mesa United Way, is a free volunteer income tax assistance site, or VITA site. Chandler residents from low to moderate income households can receive free tax preparation Fridays from 12 to 4 p.m. and Saturdays 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Care Center through April 15th. The Care Center is located on Jackson in Galveston, right adjacent to Galveston Elementary School. And so if they want more information, they can call there or go to our website, and that information is posted. Jacobson Elementary Media Specialist Nicole Estevez and Assistant Hope Ferrier had been nominated for the American Library Association's I Love My Librarian Award, which honors librarians across the country with their impact to their community. Their nomination letter said that there is a love of literature in Jacobson Library, and students are excited for what they'll experience when they arrive. Please join me in congratulating Nicole and Hope. Media centers at our schools continue to be the hub of learning, and we have so many talented individuals dedicated to their service. CUSD students from 13 schools also participated in the Valentines for Veterans project from Congressman Greg Stanton's office. Cards were picked up and delivered to veterans across the valley on Valentine's Day. This is something our schools coordinate with Representative Stanton's office and is meaningful for both the students and our veterans. Chandler Early College junior Kira Kaufman Johnson won the regional and national award for the Next Generation Writing Contest. So we'd like to congratulate her for that national award. Hamilton High School's academic decathlon team once again earned Region 4 title. This is the team's 7th straight regional title. I think people know when they're coming. Based on scores across the regions, they are currently sitting in first place in the state as they prep for the state competition in March. So we hope to hear some really good things. Those are very dedicated students and staff that host that. And our Hamilton High School senior AFJ ROTC candidate, Landry Howard, was recently announced as one of 100 worldwide recipients from a pool of over 12,000 senior cadets of a 4-year Air Force ROTC scholarship to the university of her choice. The J100 AFJ ROTC Character and Leadership Scholarship provides benefits including tuition, on-campus housing, books, and a monthly stipend. This is just one of many of the awards that our students get when they leave Chandler schools, but this is a very notable one. And so we want to make sure that that Landry is noted for that excellence in work and sticking to it and serving our country, and want to thank her for that. That's it.
Great, thank you. It's really nice to hear about so many of our student accomplishments, not only in academics, but in the extracurricular activities, and then to hear such a great scholarship being awarded to one of the students. So thank you for sharing all that information. Are there any other board member comments? Mr. Olive.
I have one piece of information that probably nobody else here knows. A couple of minutes ago, Perry was ahead of Basha 47-21.
Thank you, Mr. Olive.
What was that score? 47-21. Right. Got to cheer for both.
Mrs. Bruner, did you have something?
Yeah. I just wanted to say congratulations to the girls basketball team at Hamilton. I got to see them play Desert Vista last night. I had mixed feelings about the whole thing, but anyway, had one of my students playing on the court. So, but they worked hard and they had a great season. And also, I just wanted to remind people as they are receiving their possibly tax refunds. Maybe you owe, I don't know. But if you did receive a tax refund, if you consider giving it to our schools as a tax credit, now you have that extra cash sitting around. You can, put it right into the tax credit to get it back next year. So just throwing that out there. And for the care center, it's up to $800 for a family and $400 for our schools if you're a couple. Thanks.
Ms. Love? Mr. Worth? All right. Well, if there's no other comments, we will go ahead and adjourn the meeting. Thank you for coming. This meeting's adjourned.